What is good, YouTube? Warstu here with a video on the original Flash movie with Ezra Miller. As you know, originally this YouTube channel started on the Flash and Arrow, so I thought I'd go over this script that is looking pretty likely to be real. So it's saying that this is the Flash scrapped plot details and breakdown for Grant Morrison and Ezra Miller's Flash movie. That is never going to happen, but it does sound pretty interesting. So, although this script, this plot, will not be used for the 2022 movie, it allegedly says it's very interesting to go over. So if you are new around here, make sure to subscribe to never miss any of the videos. At the 100,000 subscriber mark, I will be giving away something pretty darn cool, so make sure to subscribe. So, the Flash has already been established as a hero in Central City, active for a year and a half in the public eye. So, that's pretty kind of similar to the Flash TV show in ways. While it's not an origin, we presented with flashbacks including the night of Barry Allen's mother's death. Barry getting struck by lightning up to him, even coming up with various designs of suits, even a bright red onesie as a nod. There's even a callback to Batman vs Superman, the surveillance footage in the convenience store where Barry was buying some milk, essentially. Barry and Iris are no longer a couple, and that seems to be something that it appears is going to happen in the current Flash movie that allegedly is coming out in 2022, but I still don't believe that. So I think it's ridiculous there's going to be no Iris West in the Flash movie. They tried, but they couldn't make it work. More on that later. They're still close, as she's the only one in Central City who knows Barry Allen is the Flash. So it's not like the TV show, every single person in the world knows who he is. Barry's still learning about the limits of his abilities and the Speed Force on the concept of time travel. He even takes it one step further to travel to Keystone, Pennsylvania to speak with someone with a vision who happens to be an expert. Okay, interesting. He meets Professor Peter Garrick, who's mysteriously known Barry's name before he even introduced himself. Basically breaks down how speed can break into time travel, but stresses the ramifications, and we all know who Garrick is, don't we? Barry's haunted by the death of his mother, a red-eyed monster from the night. His trauma, paranorma, in losing another loved one is the main reason he couldn't make it work with Iris. The film revolves around Barry investigating a murder of a detective and Barry's mentor, John, who watched over him as a child. The investigation is botched and the CCPD catches the wrong guy, but Barry could already figure this isn't the case. So he takes it one step further and investigates it as the Flash. It's revealed his partner, this is quite interesting, Lisa Snark, killed him in order to distract the CCPD, while an alpha-level metahuman, Sam, broke out his brother, Leonard Snark, in a prison convoy passing through Central City. So that's interesting. That is pretty interesting. Snark decides to stay in Central City with Sam to track down the scientist in hiding, Dr. Howard, who's experimented on him. With the help of his sister, they even rebuild his Captain Cold gun. Snark and Sam go on a rampage throughout Central City to track down Howard, eventually find him. Snark holds back from killing him and instead goes to the office to spare Howard in exchange, in an offer obviously, for one small favor. Flash eventually tracks him down as their hideout and finds himself hopelessly outgunned. Abilities catch Barry by surprise, while Snark's freeze gun, Barry's leg breaks it, forcing him to run away. On top of that, the Flash is framed for his death. Interesting. He barely makes it out when chased by the police. Barry barely makes it alive back to Iris's apartment, and she takes care of him and helps him recuperate. So far this is kind of similar to what the Flash movie should be. I personally don't think the first Flash movie should be Flashpoint. They should introduce the Flash properly. So let's go on. Naturally, she doesn't buy the Flash did anything wrong and writes pieces online in defense of Barry to dismiss negative attention towards Barry Allen. Meanwhile, Captain Cold and Sam now in his armor, go on a bank spree with the Flash. Public enemy number 1 is nowhere to be found. They deliberately avoid killing any officers or anyone. Paralleling his father's situation as he was framed too, Barry goes to confide in his father in jail. But on TV, Sam's kidnapped Iris, with Snart sending a public message to the Flash to make a choice to stop him from leaving or save Iris. Naturally, he picks up Iris and is forced to go back in the suit. In a violent confrontation on the bridge, Flash finds himself surrounded by the police while trying to take down Sam and is forced to fight them both. Iris is killed in the crossfire. Really? Iris is killed in the crossfire. Okay, this is getting really interesting, guys. Impulsive and in a rage, Barry runs fast in order to time travel to save Iris, but lands in an area of the Speed Force which is much more frightening than he anticipated. In the Speed Force, he glimpses a familiar red-eyed demon briefly before being attacked by a zombified version of the Flash. Black Flash, is it? It's gotta be Black Flash. All of a sudden, he's saved by another speedster that happens to be in the Speed Force. Who is this mystery figure? It is revealed to be Professor Jay Garrick. It doesn't say Jay Garrick, but I presume they mean Jay Garrick. At least a slightly younger version in his own Flash suit. Going by Jay, who doesn't recognize Barry at all, guides him out of the Speed Force. Barry successfully manages to travel one day into the past to save her, easily takes down and arrests Sam and catches Lisa Snart, exposing her. He even builds himself a new suit. Obviously, the Let's Run Back in Time is overly used in the Flash TV show, so it'll be interesting if we ever get a movie to see how they will implement it there. Barry is a beast. With nowhere left to go, Snart lures Flash into an abandoned subway tunnel, injecting himself with an untested dose of Howard's Former as his plan B to give him new powers. Now a metahuman, he is able to manipulate colder temperature and freeze objects. This leads to an epic battle with the Flash. His speed weakened by the cold, so Flash has to counter with other options in beating him down, which he does in a physical brawl, to which he barely successfully does. Unfortunately for Snart, the cold temperatures overwhelm his body as he is unable to suddenly adapt to them, and it ends up killing him. Flash is proven innocent thanks to the help of Iris West. Barry and Iris are finally back together. Happy times. Very interesting. This is actually quite... There's a bit more to go over, but it's quite interesting. With the truth revealed, Barry meets Professor Jay Garrick again, and Garrick is deliberately vague with his words, but reassures him that the two speedsters cannot coexist at the same time, meaning Jay is powerless. It's heavily implied that Jay Garrick is from another timeline or universe altogether, as there hasn't been a history, any existence of any other Flash, but deliberately leaves ambiguously. Jay Garrick gives him a ring for his new suit. The Flash ring. Such a pinnacle part of the Flash history. I don't need it anymore. And finally, he warns Barry not to play with the fabric of space and time, as it creates some kind of paradox. The final scene was going to be Lisa Snart in a jail, swearing to avenge her brother and vows to revenge on the Flash for killing him, and Barry is sitting down with his father to reveal to him that he is indeed the Flash, and assures him that his mother's killer is still out there. I mean, to be honest, guys, this sounds very reminiscent of The Flash Season 1 in many ways, but I would prefer this over what we're going to get, because it seems like what we're going to get now is some ridiculous multiverse with every single Batman, with Cyborg, with Michael Keaton appearing. So it is pretty interesting, and I do believe this is real, because this has been shared by some of the biggest Flash Instagram pages, and I can't find the original source for this. I was sent this on IG at Warstu. So yeah, I believe it's real, but it's a scrap storyline anyway. And yeah, it's pretty darn awesome. It goes on to say, I really enjoy reading this at my time at Warner. So it seems like it's someone that worked at Warner Brothers who leaked this. At the start of the article, it says, around late March of 2019, Warner Bros. And Ezra Miller, Grant Morrison had submitted a very detailed draft of the Flash screenplay as a counter at Goldstein and Daly's draft for a darker version, personal take on this piece as opposed to the lighter pitch. So yeah, it's essentially someone that worked at Warner Bros. Got to read it, and they're giving us a brief description. It's a shame that Ezra and Grant couldn't get to do what they wanted to do. It shows how passionate Ezra was about the project. Ezra was interested in having Cyborg in there, but Grant insisted on it being a standalone Flash film, which it should do for the first hour. And then we here at the Warstu channel definitely agree. Although there are some really cool Easter eggs, there's a bit where we get a nod towards the Flash Museum, which he built in his hideout. We see from other films the Batarang, Justice League, Batarang from the Suicide Squad. It's very detailed. It's a shame it was tossed. I certainly hope Morrison returns for something down the line. Yeah, I mean, this has got an upvote of 97%. I don't really use Reddit that much, guys, but 97% upvote rate on Reddit is absolutely insane. So yeah, guys, this does sound like a pretty cool storyline. It would have made a bit more sense if Barry found out halfway through the Reverse Flash killed his mother. He just calls him the Red Demon. But I guess it would be the slow play rather than long play. Although it did go and say you will see Barry Allen's mother, Nora Allen, being killed. So yeah, I would get on board with this much more than this ridiculous Flashpoint movie. But of course, I will watch that movie. I am hyped for anything Flash related. Although we don't really cover the Flash as much at the moment because the Flash TV show, it went downhill after season 3. Occasionally I cover the Flash, but I like to cover the Flash movie stuff because although I do think it's a bit meh, it is interesting. They shouldn't be doing Flashpoint as the first movie because no one understands what the multiverse is and time travel. They need to explain all that before they do one mega Sonic movie when we're getting Michael Keaton and Batman randomly appear. Yeah, I don't know, but this is pretty cool, guys. So I thought I'd go over it with you guys as we are mixing up the content recently on this channel. So like always, guys, please like, subscribe, and comment. I'll catch you in another video very soon. Catch y'all later.